Hey guys, Bart from TST Industries here. In this video we're going to show you the installation of the TST Industries flush mount signals on a Honda CBR500R, and the procedure is actually pretty much the same for the CBR500F. Our signals are available in a choice of clear and smoked lens. For the purpose of this video we're going to use the smoked ones. We also have available our easy to use plug and play harness converters that take any of the guesswork of wiring out of this installation and basically convert the bullet connectors found on one side of these signals to the OEM plug that is found on your bike's harness. Now these signals do a really nice job of replacing your bulbous OEM units, and they also supply 15 super bright LEDs on each capsule to provide the light. This is a pretty simple type of installation. I've devised a pretty nice way of cheating the system a little bit and getting around the removal of any of the panels. We will be able to do this in a very non-invasive way. So you guys follow along, let's get it started. All right, so in the first step here, we will be finding the wires behind this cowling here. And once we pull that out, I'll show you how we're gonna cheat the system here. It's a nice trick that I've developed, and that cuts down about half hour of work. All right, so I've found the wire with the plug behind this black shroud behind these fairings here. And right now I'm gonna remove the plug. I like to use a flathead screwdriver under the tab. Your nail will do as well. This is just easier for me. Now this plug is gonna stay up here. This plug is going to get snaked through the bodywork to the bottom here so we could extract it. Now what I've done here is got myself 2 to 3 feet of a wire. A good shoelace will work too. I just like to use a wire. It's a little bit more rigid and easier to work with. I'm also going to use some electrical tape. Now what I'm doing here is I'm going to attach the wire to the plug that's going to be coming through the bodywork. I'm going to do it in a way that when pulling on this thing, it won't come undone. I'm using good tension on the tape and spiral winding it up the plug, off the plug here, and back onto itself. And now it's important to test this, make sure we're not going to have trouble getting it through and then back up with our TST Industries wiring through back to the top for easy plug-in. So it looks like we're good here. What I like to do also is tie this off to the lever so that I don't pull it all the way through by mistake. Once you pull this wire through and you have nothing to pull it back up through the bodywork, then it's necessary to remove all these fairings, and then that takes extra time and it's sort of difficult on this bike. So this is my method. And I like to put fail safes in place. So this is my fail safe here. All right, now that we're good here, I'm going to jump down to the bottom and undo all the components necessary from the inside of the radiator scoop here to remove this and snake all of this through. All right, so let's now, from the bottom here, remove the rubber boot that is protecting the fastener that holds your OEM signal on. And that basically just slips off like that and exposes the wire here and also the 10mm acorn nut. Now I will grab a 10mm socket on a ratchet, put it into counterclockwise mode, and remove that nut. Now that the nut's out, this signal will be completely loose. We'll be able to manipulate it here. And we can pull the back portion with the wire out of its retaining hole in the back of the fairing. Now we have access to this wire that is connected to that plug that we removed up top. And I'm going to manipulate the wire up top while I tug softly on the bottom. And now, as you can see, we have my snaking wire that came through. So the plug is right down here. We could undo that and make sure that this wire does not retract back into the bodywork until we have our TST Industries harness converter hooked up to it. For now, we'll just complete the removal of this OEM part here. What I'd like to do is get the wire out of this boot completely. This boot will be coming off with the OEM signal, but it's much easier to do it when it's separate from the wire here. And now we can route this through the rubber insert in the fairing, and it does have a PVC shield around it that likes to bunch up, so putting tension on the outside while tugging it through really makes it a little bit simpler. And now we have the signal out. Now, one thing remaining in place that needs to come out is this boot that's connected to the insert. And the insert in the fairing is easily removed with the use of a nice large needle nose plier. You could put the pliers into the hole, rotate and pull, and that will get it out here. All right. Once this is out, we are ready for the installation of the TST Industries parts. And at this point, we are ready to feed these wires from our new signal to the well left behind by the OEM unit. And then we are going to put one of the large washers that came with the kit on this wiring, along with one of the nuts, and get those all the way up the wire to the stud that is found behind this signal, and get that threaded on. These signals are built in a way that they fit into this well left behind by the signal, really just one way. So you guys can get those in and sort of center the signal in the well. And then, using a 16mm open-ended wrench, I'm going to tighten it down. Now, with these signals, you have to keep in mind that you want to tighten them down so that your washer acts like a spring and retains the signal in place with the friction provided by the spring force of that washer. You do not want to over tighten this system because it is made of plastic and you will likely snap it. Once I get it tight enough, this is sort of a subjective thing. There's no value I can give you for it tight enough, but once adjusting the signal in the well becomes pretty difficult, that's probably when you are at the tightness you want. All right, everything looks good so far. I have the signal wires. I'm gonna now plug them into our harness converter. Now, this is the OEM plug. These are bullet connectors The color coding is the same on the harness converter as on the signal, so we're going to go yellow to yellow and black to black. We do have insulators here, but they can sometimes slip off. And you don't want these wires grounding out to something here or perhaps shorting together. So what I like to do is grab a little bit of electrical tape and getting these insulated from each other, and also having the insulating caps fixed in place so we don't have a chance of them touching anything. I'm going to throw a couple windings of tape on here with a good amount of tension, and that will engage the adhesive. And now we have a nice package that's ready to go through to the top. I'm going to grab my snaking wire, do what I did previously up top to go in the reverse order. Once again, it's very important to get this locked so that we don't lose the wire inside and then have to rip all these fairings off. That's just a pain. All right, I'm gonna test it. All right, it's super strong, good to go. At this point, we can begin snaking this setup through the bodywork to the top. And even though we've made sure that this white wire is attached in a good way and it won't pull through, I still like to guide all the little geometry that we're pushing through the bodywork, just to make sure that when I tug on the wire from the top, I don't have a chance of just pulling out the wire. And it's easy enough to do. Just balance out the pull force with pushing in on the harness from the bottom, and that usually yields good results. And now I'm all the way through to the top. So I'll be able to undo my electrical tape and get rid of this snaking wire that I have. I can just plug it in. It's direct plug and play, so it makes it really easy. All right. That will click. I will test it. All right, so as you can see, we have function, and the only thing now is that we are in the hyperflash situation where the signaling system, specifically the relay on the bike, will think that there is a light out because the LED signals draw much less current than the OEM incandescent bulbs, and the system's really designed to operate this way. So what can you do about this? We recommend using our LED flasher relay. That is a plug and play component for this bike. It goes under the tank here. We do have a video on YouTube. You can check that out on our channel or through the product page for that particular product on our website. All right, so now I will just repeat this procedure on the other side of the bike, and we'll be ready to go. Before I bail from this side, I'm gonna undo this wire here so I can use it on the other side, and also tuck in the wiring that I have exposed here still with the plug and my new signal wiring. All right, that's done. And this just basically goes where it came from with the OEM setup, right behind this black shroud. And this side's ready to go. I'm gonna jump over on the other side and just perform the same procedure. right. Looks good. Looks like we have function both sides. As I said before, now we're in hyper flash, so this will need to be addressed either via load balancing resistors or one of our LED flasher relays that is a plug and play component. Other than that, we're pretty much done here. This bike is ready to go. Just remove my wire, clean up around here, take it off the stand, take it off this lift table, and we're ready to ride. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Check us out on our website. Hope you guys subscribe too. We have great videos launching weekly, sometimes a couple days apart. Hope to see you guys there. See you next time.